The Cellcast is recorded in front of a live streaming audience.
Hello and welcome to another episode of The Cellcast
Reactions.
Joining me today is a man who, he feels like he's ready for a fight. Welcome, Jacob.
Let's get started, brother. Why, thank you. Let me introduce our co-host, a man who just needs to say, Ka me na me ha. I was going to say next time on Dragon Ball. Is it next time on Dragon Ball GT or Super or whatever this is called? Welcome to.
Believe it or not, that has not been as big a problem with this show, with Super anyway.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, there's still some of that because, like, the last arc is, like, 50 episodes long.
Right.
But, anyway, how are you doing, Jacob?
Man, I'm doing good. Work is work. Work is work.
Work is work.
Work is work.
Okay. I've been doing good also.
Good.
Today, we are reacting to the Dragon Ball Superheroes film that's in theaters right now.
Mm-hmm.
Which I did not realize was actually going to be just right here in town.
Yeah.
Until I was looking at the thing. I mean, when we went to go see the last film we reacted to,
Yeah.
was
Super Pets.
Super Pets. I saw the poster there at the movie theater and thought, surely not. This is the middle of nowhere. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just, This is not the market I would expect this movie to show at. I mean, they only have 3 screens.
Yeah.
And you're giving one to an anime movie that is not going to get as big a pull as, say, I don't know, what else is big right now.
Either or.
It doesn't matter. I'm just not expecting it, so I'm glad
Right.
we're actually going to get to see it close by without having to go far.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that was a pleasant surprise when you sent me the text earlier today. It's like, hey, what do you think about doing a reaction to this film? And it's like, okay, I saw the ticket, and it was like, oh, it is here in town.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes it a lot easier.
That makes it a lot easier.
And the thing was, but like beforehand, I had saw the original Versus the Gods or something like that. Battle of Gods, and I think
you haven't watched Resurrection F yet.
I know of the movie. I know I know what happens in the film for the most part. No, correction. I have seen that film before. I remember watching it. And it was like, oh, okay, because I got that movie and the Battle of Gods mixed up.
That can be easy to do.
Yes,
there's just a lot of let's be honest. A lot of these Dragon Ball movies are excuses to see amazing fight scenes.
Agreed.
With a little bit of story, but yeah. How much of the actual Dragon Ball story though do you know? I mean, I know you watched Dragon Ball Z back in the day, right?
Yeah, I watched Dragon Ball Z. I watched quite a bit of Dragon Ball GT. I know that's no longer canon, even though the guy who
fight you over that.
Yeah, which I've heard fans say, "Oh no, it's not canon," but the guy who created it did design and did most of
designs, and he
wrote most of it.
He wrote one arc.
Yeah,
the last of it he didn't, and plus I think they all decided they hated GT. So
yeah, either or.
That's why. But they also didn't make it not canon, if we're being honest, because Super takes place in that intervening time between when Goku defeats Majin Buu and the last 4 episodes of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we haven't defeated... GT is still a thing. That can happen.
Yeah, maybe.
How it doesn't mess with anything, I don't know, but...
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe one day. Who knows?
Yeah. So either or.
But let's face it, these people are not above changing things.
That is true. So tonight we are reacting to Dragon Ball Superheroes or Superhero?
Superheroes, I believe.
Okay.
I still hate this name. I know why it's this way, but I still hate this name.
Right.
Okay, it's superhero, singular.
Yeah, that's what I thought. A superhero.
Right.
So,
and the reason it's called this stupid name is because it's part of Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah.
And then they called it Superhero.
Yeah.
Which probably sounded okay in Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
Does not sound good in English.
Agreed.
Anyway.
Yeah. I think I've seen a little bit of the trailers. I know nothing about the plot. I understand they're pulling a lot from Dragon Ball, the original series.
What they're doing is they are pulling from the Red Ribbon Army.
Yeah.
Do you remember who they are?
Yes.
Okay. You know they're the ones that created Cell and Android 17 and 18.
Yes.
And, okay. And then Goku pretty much killed them in the original Dragon Ball?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Sure.
I know.
I don't know what you've seen and what you haven't seen.
I gotcha.
We've never talked Dragon Ball.
No. I've like I said, I watched Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, the Super movies so far, except for I just recently watched Broly, which you graciously allowed me to borrow. And that's it.
Okay.
Except for, I think, the World's Strongest, World's Finest or something we reviewed once.
No, that was the Dead Zone.
The Dead Zone, that's right.
That was strange, but I did that just to see. Let's see how crazy I can make Jacob go. Especially in the middle when Gohan gets high.
Yeah, that was weird. That was weird. But we're not here to talk about that.
We're not here to talk about that. We are 20 years later.
Yes.
Or however long it's been since that movie came out. Or in both in universe and out of universe.
Right.
Anyway. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this because I know the Red Ribbon Army is being brought into it, which Goku has a lot of history with. I'm wondering if 17 and 18 are going to show up since, to my understanding, the villains that Goku's fighting that call themselves superheroes, they work for Red Ribbon, so they should not be happy with 17 and 18.
Right.
I'm wondering I'm just curious where this is going to go.
Yeah.
Because I know, like you, I know really nothing about this because it's like, when I saw this was coming, I thought, sold. I don't need to see a trailer. I haven't watched a trailer.
Really?
I have not seen a thing on this other than, there's a Dragon Ball superhero movie coming. Yay.
All I can say is I've seen the trailers. I'm like, okay, Goku, what did you do now? That's all I can think is what
He's already nearly destroyed every universe in the multiverse.
Right.
What can he do now?
It's like, where in this movie do you step in and say something stupid and be like, hey, I want to fight?
No, I don't. I bet that's not a lot of it. I bet they go and attack Goku because of Red Ribbon stuff.
Yeah.
But then I still don't know. Cause I'm wondering if they're androids, but I don't know. Of course, androids in Dragon Ball is really cyborgs.
Right.
But beside the point.
Yeah, beside the point. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. Definitely when you said, text me this morning about it, and I was like, okay, I know exactly what I'm doing for Friday nights.
Yeah.
I'm reviewing Dragon Ball Superhero.
Yeah. Or reacting to it at the very least.
Either or.
So yeah, unless you got anything else.
Nope. Let's go see some Saiyans kick some butt.
Alrighty.
Or maybe either or, yeah.
Next time on the Cell Cassie.
Oh boy. All right, so we're back in the theater.
Indeed. I enjoyed the movie.
I did too. It was a really, really well done film. Definitely going into non-spoilers at this second.
Oh, yes. It's definitely the spoiler-free section.
Yeah.
If you have watched Dragon Ball in the past, go watch this film. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because you kind of know what you're in for.
Yeah, it was very helpful because before this recording, I had not watched Dragon Ball Super Broly before.
Yes,
and Drew,
that does help.
It does help because Drew was very kind to let me borrow the Blu-ray and said, "Hey, you might want to watch this YouTube section over what happens between the beginning of Super and."
Because I didn't know how much of Super you had watched.
Right.
I knew you'd seen some of Z.
Yeah.
But I figure, well, how much of that are you really going to need to know? And thankfully, what you needed to know, the movie told you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It was good. It's a good movie. I do have some problems with it, with more little things to get into, our full disclosure of this film.
Oh, yeah.
Disclosure of this film. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed the mess out of this film.
It was a very fun film. We did not watch the IMAX or anything special. It was a standard 2D viewing of the movie. I I don't think our theater had the screen set up exactly right.
Yeah.
Because there were many shots in which characters' heads were cut off.
Yeah.
So I'm going with they just didn't have it backed up enough or something. I'm not 100% sure which.
Yeah.
No offense to the local theater where we watched this at, but I kind of got the feeling they hadn't done any work to prep for this movie.
Probably not.
Like they do for some of the bigger ones. Because we went into that theater and the lights were off.
Yeah.
The movie had not started. It was literally like, 5 minutes until
It was more like 15 minutes.
regular thing. Or 15 minutes until the regular part started. The pre-advertisement started.
Yeah.
And it was just dark the entire time, which is strange. We had to use our phones to find our seats.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened there, but hopefully viewing this later at home, we don't have a lot of heads cut off like we did here.
Yeah.
But pretty much it was a great movie. I enjoyed it. I too have at least an issue, a fairly major issue, but it's not one I would use to say don't go watch the film. It is a stylistic choice that they went with, and I don't know if COVID was a part of the thought process there and why they did it this way instead of the way I would have preferred, but it was still a good film for what it was.
Okay.
So, yeah, are you ready to jump into the spoiler-filled section?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do that then.
This podcast is a proud member of Culture Box. Whether you enjoy geeky reviews, comedy, or original fiction, you can open up the Culture Box and find something excellent for your soul. Point your web browser to culturebox.media.
The following is a spoiler-filled reaction to the movie Dragon Ball Super: Superhero. Listener discretion is advised. So I'm just going to go ahead and knock on my big negative.
Yeah.
The art style for this.
Yeah.
It is Akira Toriyama's art style. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But they used 3D graphics to 3D computer models with 2D textures, and while that's okay for like the fight scenes and such, it is horrible for the scenes when people are just standing around talking.
It's a little jarring.
Yeah.
Very jarring.
In fact, you know what it reminded me of?
What would that be?
Captain America and Iron Man Heroes United.
Oh, gosh.
Because that kind of did the same thing.
It did.
But this, at least, when it got to the fight scenes, there was a lot of good, nice style to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fight scenes in this looked great.
Yeah.
And even the little joke scenes here and there were done very well.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, the choice to use 3D models with and then trying to texture it to kind of make it have the 2D look to it, it doesn't work at all.
No, it doesn't.
And it's really, really bad on Piccolo.
Yeah,
which is
agreed.
sad
That is
because
sad.
he's a protagonist and he's the primary protagonist of this movie.
Yeah, he is.
He's actually the main character.
Which I really, really enjoyed that part.
I really enjoyed that part too, but because of his the veins kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what you call those structures, but he's got all those lines that go all the way down.
Yeah, the more structure in his arms.
Down his skin. It makes him look... Those are never really feel like they're solid on him when he moves. It feels like they're floating textures above a 2D model that happens to be green.
Right.
But other than that, I thought it was a good film.
Yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I do have the same issue with the choice of animation or using the composite between a 3D rendered figure frame and laying that 2D texture over it. It is a little jarring, especially when there's just character dialogues and characters. There's no fluidity in the model.
Yeah.
So it feels like everything's kind of janky. Or a little janky. And I'm talking like
the animation they do on that 3D is very, very cheap.
Yeah.
In some of those scenes.
Yeah, agreed. Well, I think of like I just watched Dragon Ball Super Broly, and that is done very well when they go to the big fight scenes. But like, yeah, they're using 3D rendered models,
right? But I mean, it's not as big. But they use the regular 2D anime style, like the TV show uses, for most of the rest of the talk scenes. And there's even scenes where they're actually doing 2D animation in those fight scenes, but for the more visually spectacular splash screens and stuff with a lot of extra movement, as when they use the 3D in Broly. In this, it's the 3D all the time. Yeah. And for the most part, it works. It's just, it feels like I just paid to go to a movie theater to watch a long video game cutscene.
It's in some ways, yes.
That's kind of annoying.
I agree. But if we've be like, I think it's a major nitpick I do have about this film. Yeah. That is, overall, this movie is very well done. It takes away the normal trope. Oh, here comes Goku and Vegeta to
save the day. But here's the thing I realized. They really could not do that when I realized what was going on. Think about it. Dragon Ball Super Broly is essentially a send-up to both the Saiyan and Frieza sagas. Yeah. From Dragon Ball Z. This was a send-up to the Android saga from Dragon Ball Z. Agreed. That means if there's a third movie coming, which I don't know why there wouldn't be, it'll be a send-up to the Boo saga. That's not going to be good. I'm not a fan of the Boo saga. But fair. Although that would give Hercule Satan plenty to do. I'm sorry, I still think of the guy as Hercule.
Yeah, everybody
because
does.
I grew up with that, but now they always call him Satan, and it throws me.
Yeah.
Because Satan is just a wrestler name.
Yeah.
But anyway, beside the point.
This movie, I mean, like...
It is a fun movie. There's a lot of great little moments in there. Yeah.
The moment where, like, when we first started with the film, we started with Little Pan, who's 3 years old, who's training with Piccolo, and he's a lot more, he's not as, like, rough as he was with Gohan.
That's because Piccolo has mellowed in the past 20 years.
Yeah, agreed. Like, yeah, he still knocks her around, be like, training her, but it's not, be like when I watch Dragon Ball Z and watching Piccolo just pummel this little kid into dirt and just be like, you're not strong enough, kid.
You gotta remember, in Dragon Ball Z, the first thing Piccolo does to train Gohan is to throw him at a mountain. Actually, I think that's a plateau. Sorry, I'm thinking Dragon Ball Bridge. And he blows the mountain away because, you get thrown at a mountain, you're going to dig into your latent abilities too.
Yeah, that's true.
But, and then he just leaves Gohan out there to survive on his own. Yeah. He makes friends with a dinosaur. He keeps cutting bits of his tail off so he can eat. He's not really friends with the dinosaur, but the dinosaur keeps coming back after him. Because that was back when dinosaurs were in the show.
True.
You don't see that much anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah, but this movie has so many very well... Like, it's a good story. Yeah. And it focuses on Piccolo for a change. And it's not nice. Yeah, it's not Goku and Vegeta. They have their own little story. And
but they are in like maybe 25% of this film.
Yeah, true.
And then that's it. And literally it's just, oh yeah, we're over here on Beerus's planet with Broly. By the way, he's here. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we're fighting because we're trading. And Bulma can't get a hold of us because Beerus is too busy eating ice cream. Which is like, I should be surprised, but I'm not. Of course, food comes before anything else with Beerus.
True. Oh, dude, but like the story is very well done. It's like arcing back to Dragon Ball with the Red Ribbon Army, and it took me a minute. I was like, Red Ribbon. Oh yeah, those guys. Yeah, those guys. Kid Goku kicked their butts.
Yes, and they did a good job of going through the past history of the Red Ribbon Army's history from when Goku killed them, destroyed them, to everything with Dr. Giro and even filling in the gaps that the show in the manga never did.
Yeah.
Giving us a through line to say, okay, here's how the Red Ribbon Army is still around at this point.
Right.
But yeah, I thought that was done well, especially because it's been, 20 years? There are going to be people who are going to be introduced to Dragon Ball with this film.
Yeah.
And it doesn't do any good to leave them lost in what's going on.
Yeah, it doesn't. It'd be like if you're like Drew said, be like if you are the fan who's like, oh, I've heard of this Dragon Ball. Be like, and I'll watch this and be like, it gives you all the context you need to go into the story
and enjoy this movie in particular.
Yeah,
and hopefully it gives you enough motivation to go back and say, well, I'll just try out some more of the show and go back to maybe the original Dragon Ball and realize, holy crap, this show is a lot more comedic than it is now, and that is saying something.
Right.
Considering all of the jokes in this.
Oh, yeah.
Especially since the superheroes, quote unquote, what was it, Gamma 1 and Gamma 2?
Yeah, Gamma 1, Gamma 2.
When they actually throw punches, a hologram shows up behind them, showing their word balloons. At one point, I was just going to ignore it because it's like, okay, that's a stylistic thing, until Piccolo says, why can't I see his sound effects? But, oh, wait a minute. Are those actually there?
Oh, my gosh.
And then that one shot where the two Gammas are talking with her and the other one shows a sound effect and it's backwards because he's facing the other direction.
Yep.
And then the whole thing where they're showing off, like, because the whole shtick of this is that the Red Ribbon Army does not have the whole story of what happened. They still see themselves as the good guys, of course, but they do this whole thing where it's like, well, I'm not entirely sure, but we think the Capsule Corporation has got these aliens involved. I'm thinking, well, technically, they do. And it's like, because they're flying in and out every day. Obviously, our big trouble is this Goku person. And there's this Vegeta. And then there's Hercule Saint. We don't know what's up with him. And then they show
playing that up. That is hilarious.
They show Bulma, and she's got the most evil glare on her face. It's like, what is this? Is this where Krillin in the Forest of Fears again? Because there's an episode of Super where Krillin goes into this forest to fight his fears, and every time when he goes in there, every villain who's ever killed him. Or beat him up, is in there, and it shows Frieza, it shows Cell, all the androids, including 17, and then the last one it shows is Bulma, and I'm going, ha! She did beat you up in Dragon Ball.
Oh my gosh! Like, there are so many Easter eggs. If you're the uber Dragon Ball fan, that's for you. Or the fan who kind of grew up watching some of it and doesn't have all the context. But like, it's one of those films you can just hop into. It gives you the context you need, and it's a fun ride. And you get so many great Easter eggs. You get so many amazing moments. Definitely get into fight scenes with little Pan, who's 3 years old, who just knocks the crap out of these people.
Oh yeah,
it is absolutely hilarious.
Well, that's the thing, is Pan, the only time we've seen her actually fight, not counting GT, but is in the 4 episodes at the end of Dragon Ball Z, which is after the time skip, which is after Dragon Ball Super.
Right.
So it's like, okay, yeah, we do have to get to where she can kick everybody's tail, because she's actually the only fight we actually get to see besides Goku versus Oob in that fight. So it's like, and she just like wipes the tail with this master of 80 years of Kung Fu, and she's 4 years old.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, but like, just getting into like the heart of the movie is we have the Red Ribbon Army. They're trying to rebuild. They get a deal with Dr. Shiro's grandson.
Yes, Dr. Hebo or something like that.
Dr. Hebo. But we get that. We get where he's more he's kind of like Werner von Braun. Yeah. That's what automatically I thought of when this character yeah, I knew they were kind of evil, but I wanted the money for the research. Yeah, kind of like that idea, because
he wanted to make the ultimate android, and And don't forget, he has injected his skin with this molecule thing that will means he's immune to bullets. I'm thinking, dude, sell that.
Yeah, exactly.
You will make tons of money by selling that.
And that pays off with Bulma.
And he somehow survives a explosion.
Yeah.
That was tore a humongous crater in the earth without a scratch. And going, dude, sell that.
Yeah.
You will make tons of money.
Yes. Oh my gosh. But yeah,
forget the stupid android. Sell that.
Yeah, we've got the little stick of Bulma and her vanity of be like, those moments are hysterical every time. And like you get that, you get Piccolo. There again, this is a Piccolo story.
Yes.
And you get Piccolo. He summons a dragon. Be like, I need my unlocked potential, and like that pays off in dividends. You get Orange Piccolo.
But that being said, I do love when he's pretending to be a Red Ribbon Army grunt.
Oh, that's hilarious!
And they make so many jokes like, "You sure okay? You're looking a little green." It's like, flick. I'm sorry. You must be new to this outfit, son. You're seeming a bit green about this whole thing, and going, how long till someone says, Agent 97 or whatever number he
94.
was. 94. It's not easy being green. It's like, but yeah, we do get Orange Piccolo, and they even make the jokes like, when you get done, you really ought to give this like a catchy name like Super Saiyan. It's like, why would I want to do that? I guess if I was going to, so I'd call it Orange Piccolo. And that's like somehow meta-y. They've already named you Orange Piccolo.
Yeah. Yeah, but like we get that. We get Gohan's untapped potential, which I do like that.
I know I said in the theaters, like, did he just go Ultra Instinct? That's not Ultra Instinct. He actually did that in Dragon Ball Z during the Buu saga.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of it's kind of his unlocked form, basically.
Oh, okay.
It's a power up only he has.
Oh, okay.
Back on the last time Akira Toriyama tried to make him the hero of the story, before Goku came in and saved the day again, because Goku sells comic books.
Yeah.
Gohan doesn't.
True. Oh my gosh.
Sorry, manga, but still.
Manga, comic, it's the same thing. It's just different. It's a different format. But overall, this is a very well done movie. We get the androids who be like, oh, we're fighting for the good guys, and they realize they're working for the bad guys.
Yes.
And they do the heel turn. And I love that. I love when you have characters like that, and they realize their error, and they start, fighting for the right side. And you get, like I said before, you get
Kaiju Cell.
Kaiju Cell.
That's what we keep calling him. They called him Max Cell. I'm thinking, call him what he is. He's Kaiju Cell.
Yeah, Cell Max. Cell Max. And be like, oh my gosh, they're going Kaiju. And then the callback where Piccolo is like King Kami or is
okay, let me explain.
Yeah, because I know they explained it a little bit.
So Piccolo Jr., which is what this character's name actually is, but nobody ever calls him that.
Okay.
Is technically the son of Demon King Piccolo.
Oh, okay.
Which is the evil side of the unnamed Namekian, the good guy side being Kami.
Oh, okay.
Nameless Namekian, not unnamed.
Yeah.
He had a name. He just never knew it.
Yeah.
So during the course of Dragon Ball Z, or during the course of Dragon Ball, Goku beat Demon King Piccolo to a pulp, to the point where Demon King Piccolo was about to die. So he pushed all of his essence into one last egg, and that egg is what went out and to the edge of the world, and that's what Piccolo Jr. hatched out of.
Right.
And that's why he says that's not me anymore, but it kind of is him, because he's got all of Demon King Piccolo's memories.
Right.
The last arc of the original Dragon Ball before the switch to Z is when Goku fought Piccolo Jr. And that's when he did all these cool things that we have not seen since then.
Yeah.
That we got to see again tonight.
Oh, yeah.
outside of the orange Piccolo thing, that was completely new.
Yeah,
But
him
the
becoming
whole
a kaiju himself.
the whole thing with the stretchy arms
Oh,
and
yeah.
being able to grow giant, we have not seen that since. Actually, there was a movie they did that in. I can't remember the name of it. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
They fought another Namekian that was like evil guru from Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
So I don't remember what that guy's name was. It's like Broccoli or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Good night. I'm gonna have to look it up, but I'm not gonna put it on the show.
Yeah.
But that he also did that too. So they had these big fights that way.
Yeah.
But after that, when you get to Namek, he merged with Nail, which was Guru's bodyguard.
Okay.
And then he merged with Kami during the lead up to Cell.
Oh, okay.
That's
right.
why he knows all the stuff. Of course, Nail doesn't ever... His memories are worthless, apparently. But yeah, he's essentially 3 Namekians at that point.
Yeah.
And yet he still has apparently power to unlock.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like you have Gohan. Now, the thing was like when they started using Pan, like the idea it's like, oh, we're like, if I can say this right, that Piccolo intentionally uses Pan to get Gohan into the fight and make him, jumpstart him, get him into the fighting spirit that he needs to be in. I like that, but when you use a little kid, but it's obviously it's his kid. He's gonna go nuts if someone lays a paw on her.
Well, the entire time
I like that idea, but in some ways I don't.
First off, Piccolo is probably the only person who could get away with this.
Oh yeah, easy.
As that is not within like the thought process of any other of the other Z fighters. For lack of a better term.
Of course.
But well, no, Vegeta might, but that goes against his honor. Piccolo is the only one who was ever legitimately evil for a time.
Right.
So it made sense. It's like, well, if I want to get Gohan to fight, I should help kidnap his daughter.
Yeah.
And get her out here. And he does help kidnap her, and she says, "Now you just got to play along with me right now."
Yeah, exactly.
Gotta act. I'm going to put these handcuffs on you, but you'll be able to break free of them very easily.
Yeah.
But I need you to pretend to be scared of me.
Yeah.
And then there's that whole point where you get back there and they're recording the ransom video.
Oh, yeah.
And he's behind Commander Magenta.
Yeah.
He's doing, good job.
I didn't notice that.
It was, yeah. Well, he was like, yeah, you're doing good. You're doing good. It's like, oh my word, Piccolo, you're not supposed to be into this.
Oh, the scene where it's Piccolo disguised as the soldier and the other grunt go to confront Gohan. And it's just like, oh, I'm real busy. Oh, you're busy until this. What shows the video? And it just boom.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you just mucked up, buddy. You don't know who you're dealing with.
And then he keeps pounding that guy into the ground, and this crater keeps getting bigger and bigger. And you're watching going, Gohan, you probably ought to stop. You're about to destroy your house. You're about to go underneath the foundations. Whoosh. It's like, okay. Videl is not going to be happy.
In the credits, she wasn't
happy. Oh man, this was a fun movie.
This was a fun movie. It was so good, and like Gohan released this, like he unleashed this like untapped potential where his hair went silver.
Yeah,
silver
I don't even know
gray.
what you call that version. For now, I'm calling it Super Saiyan Silver.
Yeah,
because that just makes the most sense right now. But that was fun because you can't do one of these movies without having somebody unlocking a new form.
Well, technically, we had two. We had
Orange Piccolo,
and
Silver Super Saiyan.
Yeah,
Super Saiyan Silver. So, yeah, I was. There was a part of me that was still hoping he was going to go Super Saiyan Blue, but I'm also glad that he didn't because he's not full-blooded Saiyan.
Yeah,
so that really doesn't make sense.
Yeah, he just kind of went to like like an upstart from Super Saiyan like 3 or something, or 4 or 2 or 2, whatever.
To throw some trivia, not trivia in there, but the way the logic works. When more than likely Gohan can't actually go Super Saiyan God, which is the red-haired variety.
Yeah.
But when you get into Dragon Ball Super, there is that arc again where they're fighting Goku Black, and he can go Super Saiyan Rose.
Yeah.
But the only reason he can his hair can go that color is because that's actually like a Supreme Kai that's inhabiting his body. So it's not. It's the Kai of this. The key power of this Supreme Kai being inside a Saiyan body is why he can get to that. Goku himself can't actually do Super Saiyan Rose, and nobody else can. So it could be that the reason Gohan can do this is because he is half Super Saiyan.
True, that's what I kept
Which
thinking.
would mean Goten and Trunks technically should also be capable of pulling that off.
Yeah. Yeah,
Just
agree.
a theory.
Just
a Dragon Ball theory.
Thanks for listening.
Continue listening because we're not done yapping yet.
We're not done yet.
But not done geeking out yet.
Yeah, this movie, oh my gosh. Like the fact that they brought in a Cell Max character who's a freaking kaiju is absolutely hilarious.
That was the thing. They're showing off. It's like, well, we made these 2 androids, and then we've got the Cell Max project, and I'm sitting there going, please don't tell me that Cell's going to have to absorb these 2 goobers.
That's what I kept thinking.
Thankfully, he didn't. Because the little thing he used to absorb, the regular Cell used to absorb them, was a giant spiked ball.
Yeah, a mace.
A giant mace. It's like, oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, because that would have been weird to heartbeats.
We don't need that story again.
No.
Also, we don't need Scared 17 when she shows up.
Oh gosh, to be like,
because it's like, oh, I do not want to be. I don't want to be combined with that version of Cell. The first version was bad enough. This one doesn't have any intelligence.
Trigger warning! Trigger warning!
Because at the end, you get right before the fight with Cell Max, Max Cell, whatever his name is. You get Goten, Trunks, Krillin, 17. And there was somebody else, wasn't there?
Goku,
Bulma.
Bulma, but she was,
she didn't do anything.
Yeah, Pan was there, but she was also in the little plane.
Yeah. So they show up, and the Cell Max starts coming out, so they all just jump in. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna go fight. So Trunks goes and fight. Goten goes and fights. 17 says, screw it, I'm gonna jump in there also. And then Krillin says, well, I'm going to stay back here and protect Pan and Bulma. And that actually turns out to be a good idea.
Yeah. I loved it when I think it was when Bulma showed up. It's like, yeah, I got all the rest. They searched them and like, oh yeah, I got what's his name? Come on,
I got all the strongest heroes I could find, and Krillin's here too.
He walks up in his police uniform. It's like,
here's the
poor
thing,
Krillin.
Poor Krillin. Do you realize he's the strongest pure-blooded human in this show?
Agreed. Yeah.
The only person who's at level with him is Tien Shinhan, who was not in this movie.
Yeah.
But you can't claim that completely because he's got his third eye open all the frickin' time. Krillin doesn't have that. He is just like the strongest martial artist human in the show.
Oh, yeah.
He deserves more respect, especially since he's the only one who has the Destructo disc.
And he used it in this film.
Because that was the thing. We're sitting there going, okay, Krillin's about to jump in. If ever there was a time to use your Destructo disc, Krillin, it's now. Because the thing is, the Destructo disc is probably one of the strongest energy attacks in the show.
Really?
It's the only one that seems to cut through anything it touches.
Huh.
And Krillin never uses it. Even though it's his attack that he made.
And then he has his what is it, solar flare?
He uses Tien's solar flare. Because that's not his attack. Tien had that attack first, but Krillin uses it more than he does.
I love that. I was like, oh my gosh, they're using him finally.
And I've watched so much Dragon Ball Z Abridged, I was watching to see what'd you sneak into this frame? Because that's the running joke from Dragon Ball Z Abridged. But anyway,
oh my gosh, we've been geeking.
Was so much fun.
This was so much fun. It was so much fun. I would highly recommend it to anybody who is a Dragon Ball. If you're a Dragon Ball fan, be like, you probably watch this. If you
don't have to wait on us to tell you. You've seen it already.
Yeah, Go have fun with this. This is a fun film.
This is just a super fun movie.
Yeah. Now, granted, if you're not the biggest Dragon Ball fan, and you have to it's going to give you the good reminders.
It will give you what information you need to know from the past.
Yeah.
Now there might be some things that confuse you, like when Goten and Trunks do the fusion dance and it messes up, and then they're stuck in that form for 30 minutes. You might wonder why they went to all that trouble if that form sucks.
Yeah.
Well, it's because they forgot how to do it correctly.
That's true. And it'd be like for me, because I actually had to watch Broly before this, or the new Broly. And when Broly showed up where, Goku and Vegeta are, it's like, oh, okay, if I didn't watch this film, I would probably be lost.
Yeah. There are some minor things where it's like they kind of assume you've kept up with it. But honestly, I think for the most part, even that scene with Goku and Vegeta and all that would make no sense if you didn't watch Dragon Ball, because you would wonder, why are we focusing on these guys? These guys are obviously not important to the film. Because they're not important to the film, but you can't have a Dragon Ball movie
without
and not include Goku somewhere.
Yeah, agreed.
And if you're going to have Goku, Vegeta's going to be near him, wanting to challenge him.
That is true.
And now you got Broly in the mix because Broly is canon now.
True. So I do want to bring up, yes, go watch this film, stay for the extra credits, because the
Vegeta wins finally.
For what? He's like, I finally beat him. Bam.
Yeah.
Falls on his back.
Oh man,
that was too much fun. To actually watch these two characters not use their powers, not go Super Saiyan, blue, God, silver, whatever.
Yeah.
Just to go out and see them fight each other. They wear each other out so badly. And Vegeta actually wins the fight, even though it was more like he falls over. It was great. Yeah. But yes, overall, go watch this film. We will probably do a review of it at some point.
We've got to go back and do Battle of Gods, Resurrection F, and then Broly. And that's going to still cut some a large part of Super out. And I mean, no offense, guys, as much as I love Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and Super, I'm leaving one out. We're never doing this on the animated series.
No.
It is too long.
Yeah, that is way too long. We would literally be recording every day.
Especially since so many episodes would be like, and they talk to each other. See us next week.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so we might do like a comedy bit where it's hey, we're gonna watch a couple episodes of unabridged.
Yeah, definitely. At some point, we will probably have to do a bridge because the bridge is funny.
Yeah,
but not right now. We will figure that out at a later date.
Right.
But I think unless you've got something else.
No, I'll be go watch this, guys.
Yeah,
it's really good.
It's a great movie. I think that's going to be it for us, guys. Yep. In the meantime, this has been Drew.
This is Jacob,
and we'll catch you in the next frame.
You can follow Jacob on his Facebook at Jacob B. Heron. His Facebook page, Jacob's Daily Art Corner, where he tries to draw each and every day. His Instagram at Jacob B. Heron. His Twitter at Jacob Heron. And his Letterboxd at Jacob Heron. You can find Drew on Facebook at Drew Dodgen. His Facebook page, Drew's Photo Bin, to see his photography. His Letterboxd page at GGeorge759. His Twitter at GGeorge759. And Instagram at Drew Dodgen. You can like us on Facebook at the Cellcast Podcast, on Twitch at the Cellcast Gaming, on YouTube at Cellcast, on Twitter at cast_cell. The Cellcast can be found at Apple Podcasts, Google Play Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, or anywhere else fine podcasts are downloaded from. Please rate and review us where you found us, and also on Podchaser. Email us at thecellcastpodcast@gmail.com. The Cellcast is a proud member of both the Pop Americana and Culture Box media networks. For more information, please see the link in the description. Our theme song is Drop and Roll by Silent Partner. And remember, that's Cell with a single L.